All right, family, let's jump right into it. Dear Dr. Dandridge, my name is Marcus. Last year, my father died the night before Thanksgiving. Wow. I remember standing in the hospital room, still wearing my apron from cooking when the doctor told us he was gone. We had a house full of food, but suddenly nobody had an appetite. The turkey sat untouched, the pies went cold, and I remember thinking, Thanksgiving will never be the same again. Every year, this holiday used to mean gratitude, football, and my dad's jokes while carving the turkey. But now it just reminds me of what I've lost. I'm trying to be thankful, but it's hard when the chair at the head of the table is empty. How do you celebrate a season that feels like it stole something from you? How do you keep giving thanks when your heart is still broken? Marcus, thank you for writing in. We're going to unpack this because there are a lot of people who experience loss, not just around the holidays, but let's just call it like it is on the holiday. I've seen so many people pass on holidays, on Mother's Day, on Father's Day, on Christmas Day, on birthdays, on anniversaries. Death does not wait for your holiday to be over with. And that's unfortunate because, like you said, holidays, seasons, certain celebrations are supposed to feel joyous, are supposed to feel great and wonderful. And when things like this happen, it does feel as though life has just sucked all of the joy out of that special day. One of my biggest encouragements to families during the holiday of Thanksgiving, for those who have experienced loss around that time, is not to forget the heart of the holiday. And the heart of the holiday is gratitude. Yes, your father may be gone. Yes, that chair at the head of the table is going to be empty inside of years to come. But maybe there are some things that you can do on Thanksgiving to honor his memory, to honor his presence, but most importantly, to really be thankful and to still have gratitude on that day. There's just a couple of things that I would recommend. Okay. Number one, set a place for him at the table. Maybe put a photo at his chair. Maybe make him a plate and let it sit there. Maybe play his favorite football game on the TV inside of the background. Do something to still give your loved one a space and a place on Thanksgiving Day. Another thing you can do is share a memory. There's a lot of families that during Thanksgiving they go around and they say what they're thankful for before eating. Maybe incorporate inside of your Thanksgiving dinner a moment of memory sharing. It can be before dinner, after dinner, but have family members or those present maybe say something that would honor the memory of your father. It not only helps you inside of your grief, but it also keeps his legacy alive. I don't know if you have children or if he had grandchildren or whatnot, but just hearing those stories about him every Thanksgiving will begin to take on a brand new meaning for the family if you allow yourself to do that. Um, I also want to encourage you to allow yourself to step away. You don't have to do anything for Thanksgiving if you don't want to. You have permission to do nothing. You have permission to grieve on that day the way that you want to grieve on that day and however way you choose to grieve. There are some years where you might be all for it: turkey, ham, macaroni and cheese, football, card games. And then there might be some years where you're just like, I'm going to go to Popeyes, get me a two-piece and a biscuit, and call it a day. And you have every right to do either one of those. One of the things that I say inside of designing your goodbyes is that you have every right to grieve the way that you choose to grieve. There is no right or wrong way to grieve. What I'm giving you right now are just a couple of recommendations and some suggestions that I've seen work for other people inside of the past. Another thing is to create a new ritual. Maybe write a letter to him before Thanksgiving and read it or burn it or save it or store it. Maybe allow that letter to be a letter of gratitude. Write out, I am thankful this Thanksgiving for my father because, and allow that to really serve as your memory. The last thing that I want you to do is to give yourself some grace. Like I said, there is no right or wrong way to grieve. There is no right or wrong way for you to even celebrate the holidays. It's whatever you feel inside of your heart is the best way for you to grieve each holiday. Grief has a way of time stamping things inside of our lives. I'm sure that you can pinpoint the moment on that Thanksgiving Eve that you received that notification, that you received that news that your father was gone. Commemorate that moment. You will probably experience it inside of years to come and relive that experience, relive that news, relive those emotions for years to come. And guess what? Whatever emotions you're feeling, whatever anxiety you're feeling, whatever sadness or fear or anger that you experience, whenever that moment comes, you have every single right to experience it. You have every single right to express it. And you don't owe anyone an explanation for how you choose to celebrate Thanksgiving in the light, not in the shadow, but in the light of your father's passing. I'm keeping you and your family inside of my thoughts and prayers this holiday season because I know that it is hard. I know that it is difficult. I know that the holidays can be something that's really hard to navigate because, like you said, it's supposed to feel joyous. It's supposed to feel happy. It's supposed to feel like the best time in the world, but it is going to be different. It is going to have its waves. It's going to have its up years and its down years. But take each year, I don't say this punditly, but take each year with a grain of salt. It is that empty chair will never be filled with that person again. That empty chair will never be filled with your father again, but the room can still be filled with his presence, with his love, and with his memory. So don't forget the meaning and the heart behind the holiday, which is gratitude and thanksgiving. Find ways to incorporate gratitude and thanksgiving in connection to the loss of your father and the memory of your father. Again, I'm going to be keeping you and your family inside of my prayers this holiday season. Thank you again for writing in, and thank you all for joining me here at my desk. I'm Dr. Dandridge. This has been Designing Your Goodbyes, and I look forward to seeing you inside of the next episode, okay?